Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 12. It's not looking good, bruv. Obviously, the chapter's like looking good. I meant what happens in the chapter is like not good news for whatever. In this chapter, plot twists are twisted. People are shot and special grades are revealed. Finally, the word special grade has actually come up in Modulo, which is quite nice to be honest. But yeah, the chapter begins with the whole, cursed spirits are supposedly Kallians, and obviously they found that the sorcerers are killing cursed spirits because that's what they do. Jabaloma and Cross confront Usami and Mino. I forget this guy's name, he's such an NPC. They can confront Usami and Mino and are all like, hey yo, we heard that basically these cursed spirits are Kallians and you guys killed them. And Usami's like, what the hell, that can't be right, there's no way. But the fact that the Donnies were crying from their third eye is like kind of proof that that is the case. And we then get a confirmation that cursed spirits pretty much only manifest in Tokyo because of, the events of JJK. They managed to convince the world that cursed spirits only appear in Tokyo, and because the world believed that, it basically made it into a truth. And so cursed spirits primarily just appear in Tokyo. Not impossible for them to appear elsewhere, but primarily there. And every once in a while, a load of sorcerers get together and they go and they just basically cull Tokyo, which is now called demon-infested. Well, we know it as demon-infested Shinjuku because that's where we were when, JJK was going on. But obviously Shinjuku's in Tokyo and Tokyo's all been affected, so it's the demon or inhuman infested Tokyo. It's just a barren wasteland full of cursed spirits that they go into and just slaughter, which is pretty cool, not gonna lie. Meanwhile, Maru, Cross, and Yuka go to Kyoto and basically just refresh all the seals and the cursed objects that scare away cursed spirits in case any try and leave or manifest anywhere else. Same thing Megami was doing with the finger in the first episode of JJK, pretty simple stuff, alright? They're not really involved in the main beef of this chapter, which is a little bit insane, and we'll get to it now. We get an amazing double bread, double bread? No double bread. We get an amazing double spread of Tokyo and Yakumaru, who is the kind of arrogant, not very nice, a little bit, anti-alien sorcerer guy who was in the conference with Usami a couple chapters ago. Him and his colleague are basically cutting down cursed spirits in Tokyo. They go into a building where, there's some low-level curses. He's not too worried. Hears a noise from upstairs, goes up to check it out, and the big alien Donnie Oski is getting his face licked by a cursed spirit, which is creepy as hell. Like, Yuji Iwasaki did an amazing job drawing this in like some, it just looks hella creepy, bro. It looks like some berserk level shit, alright? Like, honestly, it's grim. And they're like, what the hell, a Samurian? And Oski is all like, hey yo, you killing my Kallians, man. That's not cool, don't do that. And obviously that he's talking to the not best guy for the job because Yakumaru, whatever his name is a little bit angry. Usami and Mino pull up and Jabaloma and Cross pull up and they basically get into some negotiations. A big horde of aliens come out and they're confronting Yakumaru and they're like, hey yo bruv, nah, we're gonna jump your ass because we can't be having you like kill our Kallians like that, And Yakumaru is on the defensive, but Usami manages to step in with his cursed speech and stop the aliens from moving, which is hella cool. He like whips off a glove and he does his, his thing and he's like, hey, stop moving. And they listen, which is pretty cool. Yakumaru's not really having any of it. He wants to kind of get busy with these guys now. He's got a weird baton cannon or something, which is pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I've realized this chapter, I really like Jabaloma. Jabaloma seems like the parallel of Usami. He's the alien's Usami. I'm sorry I doubted him in the beginning. He seems like a very genuine person who really does just want peace. And honestly, I don't think peace would be at all possible if it wasn't for Jabaloma's patience. And at least he has a very good, standing relationship with Usami. And with Usami being very level-headed, those two being able to, get involved and kind of settle each of their sides it's quite cool. I don't know, I like it. So I'm sorry, Jabaloma. I'm sorry I doubted you. I like you. All right, you cool. Obviously, Oski is, still hella upset. His third eye is crying. He's saying to Cross, Cross, they're killing Kallians, man. Please stop. And then Cross informs us that if they were truly Kallians, he would be in a lot worse state. He wouldn't be able to walk. He would be unconscious. He would be in a lot more danger. It would be a lot more than just the eye crying, which is very similar to what happened to Maru when they were fighting the old man with his weird Shikigami. And I'll get into that in a second because I have a little theory about that. So obviously what happened then is he passed out and was in a complete zonked out state where he couldn't, he wasn't even conscious, right? And his eye was crying. So I'll get into that in a second. Well, let's just continue with the chapter. Anyway, they kind of have a little back and forth. It's oh, we apologize for trespassing in Tokyo, and we apologize for, not letting you know about cursed spirits, because they come to the conclusion that Kallians are actually not cursed spirits. They're just very similar, because cursed spirits are obviously the accumulation of leaking cursed energy, and when you exercise them, they vaporize, they disintegrate, whereas actual Kallians on their planet are physical creatures that don't disappear if they die, right? Which is a very important distinction, and it's what actually convinces Oski that these aren't exactly Kallians, because he looks down and one's disintegrating in front of him. So they're like, all right, they're very similar, not the same. Which does just beg the question, like, what are they then? Like, how can they be really similar? Because remember, cursed spirits rarely, or no, pretty much never show any kind of compassion towards humans. It's like a natural instinct to kill them. But this guy was, you know, sat there getting his face licked by a cursed spirit, which is, there's definitely a strong similarity between them and a strong relationship between Kallians and Lemurians. And I'm just wondering, like, maybe Kallians are Shikigami instead of cursed spirits, because to the best of my knowledge, Shikigami actually, they don't disappear when they die. I'm thinking back to when the Fingerbearer killed Megami's white dog and like shoved his head in the wall. His head was still there and wasn't evaporating, so from my memory, I don't think Shikigami disappear. And also, if the old man, you know, the old man sorcerer in this series, if his big, weird, hollow-looking thing was a Shikigami, and obviously they attacked the Shikigami, which caused Maru to, like, start tweaking, you know, his eye was crying, he went unconscious, pretty much what Cross is describing in this chapter, because they attacked the Shikigami, that would make a lot of sense, but at the same time, Maru then attacked the Shikigami. So it's a little bit uncertain where we're going here. It could be a whole new thing. It could be Shikigami. I think Shikigami would be interesting, considering, you know, we are following the Zenin bloodline here in a way. Some lore on Maharaga or the 10 Shadows would be hella dope, but I don't know. It's very up in the air. We don't really know what's going on because it's Gege. You know, how are we meant to predict any of this? Yeah, meanwhile, you know, Yuka, Maru, and Cross are still getting about their day, telling him about Tokyo and how it's infested with cursed spirits. And they're like, hey, here's a good way that the Lemurians can help us humans and we can make peace. Jujutsu sorcerers are always short-staffed. How about you come and, like, send your best warriors and help us cull cursed spirits? Now, obviously, Maru's never seen a cursed spirit, so he doesn't know they're similar to Kallians. And he's all like, wow, that's a great idea. Let's do that. So they part ways. Maru goes back to try and tell the others, hey, let's kill all these cursed spirits that he doesn't know resembles their Kallians very strongly. And obviously that could cause a bit of a dilemma, but we don't know what they are. Like, they're not cursed spirits. That's confirmed. Who bloody knows, man? It's Gege. I can sit here and theorize about it till the cows come home. It's not gonna change anything realistically. But then as we cut back to the little disagreement between the aliens and the humans, we see that simply because Cross put a hand on his sword in his waistband, the Yukimaru guy jumped to basically fire his baton cannon and shot massive holes through Cross's heart and left lung. Sorry, his right lung, my bad. Yeah, it's not looking good, I'm not gonna lie, unless they've got RCT or there's someone on their crew who can output RCT, or Shoko is just magically alive. I don't know how he's surviving this. Like, he needs some RCT ASAP, bro. He needs to be pulling up with that gojo shit, being like, I finally discovered it, the reverse curse technique. He needs to be doing all that because he has just been shot through the heart here, and it's not looking good, bruv. The aliens start tweaking. This is not good. Jabaloma's still trying to keep him calm. Usami's like crashing out over Yukimaru because obviously, you know, he saw him move and decided to shoot him. Like, he's such a human. It pisses me off. Yeah, it's not looking good. But before anyone can start getting active, everyone, and I mean everyone, all right, every single person, including the aliens, shit themselves. They all poo themselves, all right. Their underwear is now brown because Dabura emerges from the shadows. And the editor's note says, and thus appears the special grade, which confirms that Dabura is at the very least individually a special grade level threat. He has hell aura every time he walks on screen, and obviously we know his main purpose for being here is that he made a vow to protect Cross and Maru, so shooting Cross in the heart means Yukimaru is probably screwed, and I don't think there's anything anyone can do about it, because again, this guy's only job here is to protect Cross and Maru and the aliens, so this might be the end of peace. Can't lie, this might be it. We might be getting cooked, and since we're in Tokyo, I think that's exactly where Yuji is most likely going to be. So a Yuji Dabura confrontation in Tokyo is looking possible. I'm not gonna lie, this could kind of be crazy, but yeah, that is Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 12. God damn, Gege, how'd you do it, man? I don't know what you're planning here, bro. I'm not even gonna lie. We've seen Mahito. There's a relationship between Kallians and cursed spirits, a relationship between the origin of cursed energy, the Lemurians, and, you know, Kallians, which are close to cursed spirits. It's potentially Shikigami. Dabura's pulled up and been confirmed special grade. Yuji's still out there, and we're gonna see him soon. There's only like, what, 15, 16 chapters left? How are we wrapping this up? But either way, I'm enjoying it so much. It's actually peak. I love Usami, I love Jabaloma, I love Cross, I love Maru. I'm really interested in Dabura. I want to see Yuji. It's so peak. But yeah, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a bit. Peace.